Hi, I'm Masumi and I play Naoe for Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Is he afraid of me?
Where?
Should he be?
No, of course not.
Hi, my name is Tongai Chirisa and I play Yasuke in Assassin's Creed Shadows.
I am like a bodyguard. I did not expect you to heed my words.
Your words have the power to move armies, Yasuke.
High five.
Yes!
What did you do to prepare for this character?
We need a plan.
I, at the time, had been practicing sword fighting called Katori Shintoryu, which is the oldest samurai sword fighting in Japan. It's like hundreds of years old, and we're taught the samurai ways, we're taught how to bow, the whole mannerisms. And so I was like, I'm gonna channel this energy into my, character, because I felt like it was really fitting, and so that really helped a lot.
So my audition, actually, one of the things I had to do was to bow and then show how, to...
Did you have to run?
Yeah.
I
had to run. So I was like, I have got no idea how to do this. Obviously, I Googled it.
Right,
just trying to, and I used like my broomstick. So it's a little longer than, so I'm trying to show, trying to do with some skill, and then it's like, wait, hold on, I gotta... But it worked. It worked.
Right. It did.
It worked. What of your character's story initially appealed to you?
I just knew that she was a warrior, but I also knew that this was a story in Japan, and a lot of times Japanese female are portrayed to be very demure, and demure, and they need somebody to protect them. And I grew up not really feeling so. Represented by those characters, right? So when I got the audition and I saw that she was a badass, she could fight for herself, she's loyal, she's compassionate, she would fight for her people, I was like, yes, I would love to play that character. When I got the scenes with Yasuke, and I had this feeling about this character, and when I met you, it was exactly the same feeling. And I thought it was a great cast that they found you, because I was like, wow, this character has a lot of heart. That's how I felt reading the sides. And I, created all these relationships, and when I met you, you were the exact same way that I, come on now. Exact same way that I thought he would be. I was like, wow, this is really amazing.
That's dope.
Yeah.
He almost cost us the fight and got himself killed.
He was trying to save his family. We would both do the same.
What is something that is uniquely you about your character?
She's hard and she's edgy, but she's got a soft side. And she's following her own path. And the vulnerability too, that she's vulnerable and strong at the same time. Yeah.
I think for me, the thing that's uniquely me in this game is my laugh. It's the laugh. Yasuke and Tongai, they laugh the same.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I see that for sure. You do have a big laugh.
I do.
I think everybody heard it.
And now I'm conscious of my laugh. I'm gonna tone it down.
No,
I'll give you the hiss. That's what I'll give you. Who wins in a fight between Yasuke and Naoe?
Okay, so this one we need to say it at the same time. Okay? 3, 2, 1, Naoe. How did you know?
You're a ninja.
Exactly. I'm in the shadows.
Like you could be right here. Yeah. And I'll never know.
Yeah. Exactly. That's why.
Especially that big ass helmet of mine, you could just snap
Miles
me.
away.
Miles away.
Yeah.
Like you throwing something at me. What did you think about the Mocap experience?
Yeah, I was quite nervous.
Why?
I was quite nervous because, well, first of all, it was my first time. So there's this very emotional scene that I have, which begins now as vengeful journey, basically. And that was, I think, my first.
Oh yeah, because that whole week you were in tears.
It was my first scene that I was shooting.
Yeah,
and I really wanted to make sure that I would do an authentic job, but then I wouldn't get thrown off by these, cameras, and I'm wearing the helmets and the whole suit and the fact that there's nothing there. I wanted to make sure, so I
crying with a dummy.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I really built up for that. And when I was done, I almost don't remember what I did because it just the emotion, the current of the emotion took me. And when I was done, I had like a standing ovation and everybody like,
Ooh,
and I was like, and you weren't there.
okay.
You weren't there for that the one that I'm talking about. I don't think I worked with you yet. It at least made me feel like, okay, maybe I can do this mocap thing, you know? It's like, as long as I prepare and have all the emotions.
It's a different medium. They stacked a bunch of boxes and they put like the mats on it, you know, to make it like the horse.
I remember.
You know what I mean? And so they're like chugging you along, but you had to ride that thing like you are. You know what I mean? And I loved it because in my head, do you know what was going on? I could hear. So that's how I played most of my scenes. Just if there was a sword, if there was like music, it's playing in my head. I think it was a very rich, rewarding experience in every capacity. So I'm truly, truly grateful for that.
Same.
High five!
Yes!
Thank you for this. It has reminded me of something very important.
Come meet me.
It's exciting to be a character in the Assassin's Creed game.
That's the most fun I've had since I got here.
Gennojo. He is a thief, a troublemaker, who robs the rich and powerful and sleeps with everyone.
Is this where you bring all the girls?
He's definitely charming.
Yup.
But he hides a broken heart and drowns himself into a bottle of sake. Speaking of Naoe, Gennojo likes that she is not an easy catch, and it's the one person who challenges him.
I'm not with her anymore, though.
Hearing that Assassin's Creed will be in Japan, that just made me think that I need to be on this project. Working with the Assassin's Creed team, it was wonderful, very fun. I could do this every day.
The game will focus on the central part of Japan, the Kansai, for those who know a little bit more, which will cover the city of Kyoto, the city of Osaka, and then the northern and southern coastlines of Japan. We wanted to have a much more realistic proportion to our world, so mountains feeling like mountains, forests feeling a little bit bigger. So the Portuguese got here a few years before our time period, and they're expanding. We're in a very important page of history in Japan because Japan is weakened by clan wars. The unification of Japan through Oda Nobunaga is also something to prevent Japan falling to the hands of foreign interests. So Oda Nobunaga, he's known as the first unifier. Ultimately, he says that he wants peace, you know, for Japan. On the other side, who is facing him or who is, you know, suffering that peace, I would say. The aftermath of the war will have our main character, Naoe, try to convince herself that she's not on a vengeance path against Oda, and she made a promise to her father that she wants to fulfill. So the promise will take her across the world, and she will see that they're not the only one that suffered from war, and that Oda is not the only one that gained from war.
You survived the fall of Iga. Not many of our neighbors did.
The assassins have been in Japan for a little bit of a longer time, and we'll discover why, and we'll discover how, you know, and we'll discover how it's tied to Naoe as she goes through her adventure. Obviously, if you say that the assassins were in Japan, the Templars were probably in Japan as well, and we will see how they emerge from that. So Yasuke is a very interesting character. He comes in as with the Jesuit, and then he will be offered an opportunity to join Oda Nobunaga. As he ventures into the world, Yasuke is always confronted to different situations, and he tries to analyze them from, you know, what's the just thing to do. Yasuke comes from the outside, so he knows about Japan a little bit, but he doesn't know everything about Japan. As an example, Yasuke will always be polite with nobles, you know, you always do the right steps in presentation and all that, and now we will just jump in, half bow to stuff, and just, you could insult somebody that you shouldn't be insulting.
He's tired of teaching children with no other virtue than their name.
Yes, she's a young, naive person, but she's very brash and very confident. But later in the game, when she starts to meet important people who, in the social hierarchy, would be way above her, she needs to treat them with deference and respect. But is she doing it authentically, or is she doing it to get what she wants? And that subtlety is something I think we really try to focus on. We want the audience to understand when Naoe is faking it and when she's being like really authentically deferent to someone. It's all very focused on their eye performance as well as their facial performance. And in doing so, we've really kind of changed the way a lot of these cutscenes feel. And when these characters talk, you want to listen because you need to pay attention on what exactly they're looking at, right? Our style is very much inspired by traditional Japanese films in terms of their storytelling, but the film techniques are a little bit more modern. Originally, we went looking, we found the Samurai Trilogy by Hiroshi Inagaki, which is from the 50s. The camera was very motivated, it was constantly moving, and they used like whip pans and crash zooms, like techniques that nowadays are considered like a little passé, but are very modern techniques. And I think I was very interested in seeing how we could use that in our game.
As the story will unfold, there are a few surprises that we want to really keep for our fans that are very important. One of them that I'll just hint towards is that Yasuke's story is not necessarily what it seems to be at the start. So there are different things that will come with Yasuke's story. And Naoe's story, it will be a discovery for her of what her family was, who were really her parents. So that's something that will be very important to the heart of the game.
How do you feel?
Calmer. Lighter.
That happens when you empty your head of the past. You see the world for what it is now.
My favorite feature in our game has to be light and shadow gameplay. It's all dynamic, it's always there. When night rolls around, if you stick to the shadows of the building with Naoe or Yasuke, you can sneak past a whole lot of guards, surprise them, get to the core or where you need to go, and then take them out from there. With Naoe, you have ways to just extinguish lights if you want to. You can throw shuriken at them to break them, and there's a servant or a guard patrolling nearby and they notice that this light is off where it should be on because it's the night, they will actually go there to turn it on, and it's a very good way to get the job done this way. You do really feel like a shinobi, and that's super cool.
Something I really like in Assassin's Creed Shadows, it's our dual protagonists. Each time I switch, I really feel they are different, both in terms of gameplay, but also how they look, how they feel when you play with them. Even if I really like stealth and I play with Naoe, sometimes I just want pure action, so I switch back to Yasuke and it feels like a different game in a way.
We've pushed ourselves and we were very ambitious. We wanted to create something that's very dynamic, something that would have an impact on how we play the game, that's not only visual. And I'm very proud that we've managed to achieve our vision. This time around, the world will evolve through season, which had us rethink the way we were making assets, such as, let's say, a tree. A tree needs to be supported in winter, spring, autumn, summer. And also we introduced for the first time in Anvil RTGI, which is Ray Trace Global Illumination, which give us real-time GI and also better occlusion, which greatly contributes, to the level of immersion and also sit down, connect the objects together.
I think my favorite feature is the observe mechanic. It allows you to tag and look at what's interesting in the world, tag your enemies, tag the loot as you're going through the world. We had the eagle that was telling you what's behind the wall. Now you have to climb up there to see what's behind. It's a change of dynamic and perspective that I think is really refreshing for Assassin's Creed. You meet people in the game and they become your ears and eyes into the world. So they give you opportunities, they allow you to find things that you couldn't find on yourself. So we don't tell you with markers where to go. So it's a system that's integrated into the hideout, keeps the surprises, keep you a little bit scared at times, it keeps you honest.
I really like Seasons because it's not just a visual thing, it's also a gameplay thing. Or before you would have had to swim to get into the Tenchu, and now it's all frozen. You have bushes that you can hide in it in the spring and summer, and you can't in the winter. The leaves are gone and so on. This is something I really like. Walking on the roof, you have icicles falling if you're not careful, and that can warn the guards around you. These are the kind of things that are subtle, but they can make a huge difference. Force you to basically approach setup differently.
Okay, I'm a fiend for animations. I love animation details. And I think my personal favorite is there's like a long chest. And first of all, even when Naoe gets into the chest, she does like 5 flips. You can lure people towards the long chest and then grab them and throw them in the chest while like escaping. I think that's like by far my favorite kill in the game. I love that thing. And on cold, crisp winter night, I like to find like the tallest rooftop I can on a Tenchu or something and just perch, just contemplating, meditative. Who knows what's gonna happen next?
Our protagonists, the characters. I am so excited to hear people, how they feel when they live this journey that the entire team have just poured their hearts into. I think there's so many great emotional moments to connect with, and I really hope that it leaves players as excited about the era and the story as we feel, because there's a lot of heart in what we've done.
Thank you. I can never repay your kindness. But now, I have a different debt to settle.